Hey there, video number 3. It's February 15th, 2011, and it's still the day after Valentine's Day. Video 3. And, it's eating my cream of broccoli soup that I just made for myself. Always makes me feel so much better. Just toss in some garlic there, just like, you don't even have to do too much to it. You can leave it in large chunks. The smaller you make it, the more bitter and pungent it is, but the larger it is, the more mellow the flavor is. So, that is hitting the spot. So, this whole week passes by, and I'm trying to, figure out what the heck is going on with Sarah and I. And, this is already throwing some caution flags in my head, because it's like, I'm cool with someone being very busy, because I'm incredibly busy. I'm like, the way my schedule goes is like, so that week I had a meeting that I had to plan for on Monday. On Tuesday I had a protest rally. I had to learn some songs and guitar and sing and perform out in the rain and get that ready, and then work out stuff with my job rather, and interviews. Wednesday I had a drag show that I was emceeing that I had to prepare for a few hours, and then the actual show was about 4.5 hours. And then Thursday, non-profit meeting. Friday, a day at the spa with my friend. We just decided to just chill out, and that was cool. Saturday, I had a retreat with the same group that I meet on Thursdays with, and I was facilitating an event. So it's very much like do, and well, it's about pretty close to a typical week for me, and also there's work thrown in there, and I don't know, I like to keep busy. It keeps me going, feeds my soul, keeps me strong as a trans woman, as a human being, and such. So, and I like having things to look forward to. And I feel like the key to helping people understand the trans experience is just simply to go out there and meet people and talk and just let people see you, and that's really what it comes down to. So, so after my day on Friday, finally was able to work out something with Kat, and I was really, really happy because I'm like, okay, cool, let's go out for dinner because I'm starving. And I go out to my favorite Chinese food restaurant, and at this point, I'm like, Chinese food and Kat, that's a pretty good combo. Friday night, just had a day at the spa, kick-ass week, did a lot of things. I have a fun event tomorrow. My life is on, I'm on top of my life. This is really good. And, we're talking and ordering, and while we're waiting for our food, Kat was mentioning how, she had been out of touch because she had been, had some things on her mind that she wanted to work out, and that she'd been overwhelmed with, and just wanted to make sure that things were cleared and ready for when, there might be the possibility of pursuing things with me. And, originally, like the way it was phrased, I misunderstood what she was saying, and I thought that she was saying that she needed this space to deal with these things. So I was just like, well, I mean, that's cool. I mean, I'm a little sad, because I was just like looking forward to things a little bit. But I mean, that's cool because I mean, I completely support you having space because I'm glad to, just kind of keep things on a very platonic level and give you the space you need, and we can talk again at some other point. That's cool. It's a nice spot to just leave a bookend and continue on, and that's fine. Complete honesty. And she was just like, no, I think you misunderstood me, misheard me. Like, I'm saying that I've already taken care of those things, and, I really like you, and I would really like to be with you. And at this point, I'm like, I see her starting to kind of tear up a little bit because I was just, telling her, no, 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 I'll give you space. And so we misunderstood each other there at that moment. And I was just like, oh, so sorry. Yeah, I would really like to be with you too. And I was at that point where I feel like we kind of just had that shift and kind of acknowledged a new direction with the definitions and the feelings and the realm of our relationship. And looking back, I would say that was probably, it was a sweet moment, Chinese food and someone telling you that they like you. But I think that the expedience in forming it the way, like forming it into like, oh, now we're dating, I think that was completely detrimental. Like for me, like I like to just go at the pace where I get to be friends with somebody, like if people are afraid of being in the friend zone, you're stuck in the friend zone, and you can't bust it out, and you can't have a relationship. But the way I see it is, if you like somebody, it doesn't matter. Like you can't really get stuck in the friend zone if you really like somebody, even as friends. And so, I mean, I should have listened to my intuition, but I felt like things were moving really quickly. But at the same time, it felt really enticing about the idea of being in a relationship because I'm like, well, I haven't been in one for a couple of years. Sure, why not? Like this is exciting, and I can tell people I'm in a relationship, and I'm so excited, and I was just feeling like I was 14 again. And another thing I want to mention too is just in general, like things feel different. Kind of taking a step back from like what's happening. It's like just thinking about what I was thinking and feeling. Because I mean, as a male, I feel really comfortable with the idea of dating. Like I feel like I have lots of years of experience, and you know, but kind of like in post transitioning in it, and then dating again, it really feels more like I'm 14 and not necessarily 29 and a half. Like I don't feel like when I'm dating, it's just strange. Like I feel in the sense of my own personal maturity, I'm exactly where I'm at. But when it came to just like my perspectives of dating, like that's when I realized like I had a really like, kind of, I wouldn't say juvenile, but it was very young and very fresh. And it's just like, it's something that I kind of wish that I had a little bit more time to think about. But, and, looking back now, I would say that I would probably, I would like to do things on equal terms because she's the one who made the first move. She disappeared for a while. She called me out and decided when we could hang out. Trying to plan things throughout the week. And when she was free, we did things on her schedule pretty much. I mean, yeah, granted, we didn't, but it was very much on her pace, and it's always been on her pace, and that was something that I really didn't give myself a little bit of like increments of space to really think about, because at this point, I felt like I was really getting sucked in, and not sucked in a bad way, just getting sucked in a direction with which I was just getting incredibly overwhelmed. But I mean, I was really happy, I mean, the idea of being with somebody, like, it's what I've been wanting. I've been so lonely for so long, and this is like what's going on in my mind. It's like I would just like the feeling of this to continue, and it feels like this is the price of admission to continue. That's what it felt like to me. So, I really didn't give it as much thought, but now I have a little bit more um, introspection into what happened. So, that night that was the first time she started to, she just, there was like a switch that happened. There we go. And that was the moment when she started being really affectionate, holding my arms and giving me kisses. Super awesome. I mean, I'm like, wow, someone is like being all kiddish with me and flirtatious, and I'm like, I'm always that person, and then someone else is doing that to me. It just feels nice. It's just like this is a new feature. Like I can't tell you how many relationships I've been in, and I love the people that I've been with, and for the most part, I'm in good relationships with those people, but they were never really the most affectionate people to begin with. They express their affection in different ways, but for me, I'm very touchy-feely, and I mean, not touchy-feely, that's not the right way, but I mean, little things. A little bit here, a little bit here. I'll leave like candy on a pillow and a little note. That's just me, and that's something that just never really happened in any of my relationships, so I'm just like, yes! 29 and a half years, finally, something. And this is also the first night where we were intimate with each other, and yeah, and I was like, I felt good about it. I felt good about getting into it, and um, it may have been just a smidgen too soon in terms of how we were feeling, in terms of the whole thing. Looking back in retrospect, it looks like it happened way too quickly, and but I didn't feel. I felt really good the next day. I felt good throughout the whole thing, and it was one of the first times where I actually had an orgasm during sex, and it's just like I've actually I experiences before. It's usually like I have to get myself off afterwards, or it just doesn't feel right, so we stop. And it was the first time really where it was just like purely just like the presence of this other person is causing so much wonderful stimulation. So it's just like it's a wonderful night. Chinese food, sharing feelings, affection, intimacy. It's just like it's just full of nice, and it's just like you can't really argue against it. But in terms of its placement, it just shouldn't have happened that soon. So conversations more about what are your plans with like this, or like what are some things you deal with on a daily basis, or like getting to know more about each other. And I think that would have been so crucial. So anywho, that's pretty much, we spend the weekend together, and it's just a lot of time together, and just sleeping in, and just she gets sick at this point, and and I'm just helping her and taking care of her and making her meals and such. So that was pretty much that weekend. It was a nice, like, very domestic, chill out weekend after a really crazy weekend of busting ass. And I felt like I deserved this. I deserved this like really wonderful personal time with Kat. And so that was the end of that first full week, and it was a nice touch. But so that's how it went down. Anywho, I'm gonna stop this video number 3, and continue on to video number 4, and continue eating. So thanks for tuning in, and love you again 3 times just as much.